So a new series just dropped on Netflix called Age of Attraction, where they put a bunch of single adults of all different ages into the same place with the expectation that they couple up. But nobody knows the age of anyone else, and they're not allowed to tell. And so they're literally partnering up on the basis of things like how attractive they find each other, whether they get on well together, whether they enjoy each other's company, and if they have similar values. And obviously, Reddit hated it. Because Reddit follows the very popular narrative that age gap relationships, namely the ones where the man is older than the woman, they never seem to have a problem the other way around, are by nature completely predatory. But it didn't used to be seen this way. Historically, men have had to be established in order to fulfill the role of a provider. When most jobs were physical, manual jobs, mostly men held those jobs. And younger men usually didn't have the experience, status, and wealth to be able to take care of a family. And in ages where childbirth was much more dangerous and more risky, and child mortality was much higher, women were encouraged to have children in their most fertile years. Socrates recommended that men marry at age 37 and women at age 18 for these reasons. So it's not really a new concept. So why do so many people get so shocked about it today? When someone like Leonardo DiCaprio or Tobey Maguire dates a much younger woman. Some people suggest that men only do these things because they can't find a woman their own age who would want them, so they have to settle for a 20-year-old model. Well, I'm sure they're crying themselves to sleep about it. But seriously, most men can't do this. Most men, well before they hit 40, let themselves go, and no one looks at them, let alone younger women. It takes a lot of consistent effort to remain attractive into your 40s and 50s. A few weeks ago, Michaela Peterson posted a tweet saying, "I've figured out why the manosphere and groypers like women under 23. Because they're naive. I certainly was. Nobody older and wiser would sleep with any of them. Children is the best shot they've got. Loser, and I can't say the word if I want the algorithm to show this to anyone, PDFs." So according to her, not only are the relationships between older men and younger women predatory, those men are PDF files because they like adult women, adults who can vote, who can choose what they want to do with their own bodies. Attraction to such women supposedly makes you a PDF file. Here's a picture of Sydney Sweeney last year at age 27. Many men would find her attractive in this picture, and here she is 5 years earlier at age 22. So according to this logic, and I use that word lightly, if you found her attractive here, then you're a PDF file. Because in this picture, clearly a woman, and in this picture, clearly a child, obviously. Now, shaming language is a method of attempted control for many to get people to do what they want them to do. But to use that language of child sexual abuse to describe adult consensual relationships is to attempt to hijack the sympathy for the victim and outrage against the perpetrator, which such cases rightly deserve, and twist and fashion it into just another weapon to try to beat and control people with. Those who misappropriate such language can only do so because they don't really care about the genuine victims of child sexual abuse. They are just very, very happy to see an opportunity to steal emotional energy and use it for their own ends and purposes. But wait, aren't those people just trying to protect younger women? Aren't they saying these things because the ease of exploiting them due to the inherent power imbalance between an older man and a younger woman? Well, aren't there always going to be power imbalances? Most men are stronger than most women. Are women demanding that men be no stronger than they are? Are women demanding that a man not earn any more money than she does? Are women demanding that a man be no taller than she is? Because all those things could bring about a power imbalance. So maybe the problem isn't a power imbalance itself, but misusing a power imbalance. It's just as bad to manipulate someone psychologically because you have a power imbalance in experience as it is to manipulate or force someone physically because you have a power imbalance in terms of strength. So what's the solution? Well, here's my proposal. Just don't do it. You have power. Don't use it in a way that harms the other person. Men already have to do this physically. You can ask about each other's needs and expectations. You can develop healthy communication if you want to. But what about the mistakes of youth? You know, when I was younger, I made all sorts of horrible decisions with the opposite sex. I dated women that I never should have dated. I put up with behavior that now I know, as an older and wiser person, that I never needed to put up with. But that happened because I was just reaching a point in my life when suddenly I got the most sexual attention I've ever had, and I definitely would have made different choices if I knew what I know now, as a more mature and experienced person. Well, I was 35 when I made those inexperienced mistakes. Most men are pretty invisible when they're younger and only possibly come into their own stride when they're older. And making mistakes and learning from them is just a part of life. There's no age when suddenly you fully know what you're doing. All of us are learning all the time. Another argument given is, what could these people possibly have in common? They grew up watching different TV shows and listening to different music. But are quality relationships really built on the TV shows and music you grew up with? And the same argument would apply to someone who is the same age but simply born into a different culture. Are we really going to say that two people from two different countries or two different nationalities and two different cultures can't be together because they grew up watching different TV shows, watching different movies and listening to different music? So what could be the reason for this narrative from many older women? Well, how would you feel if you spent your youth as if you had all the options that you were currently enjoying, and then only later you noticed those options slipping away? You had less and less attention from the men you desire. You'd feel pretty pissed off. You'd feel pretty disappointed. And it's hard for anyone to accept that an aspect of their life might go backwards. They might have been better in the past, even if it's still possible at any age to live a fulfilling life. People tend to focus on what they've lost. And as evolutionary psychology research has shown, women tend to be very, very competitive. They're very happy to sabotage each other. One woman put it like this:
men see themselves in younger men. Women see themselves as younger women.
They still see themselves as competing jealously for the most attractive men. And if you can convince some men that other fully adult women who they find attractive are out of bounds, then maybe you can improve your own options, because there's more men going to be available for women like you than women like them. And notice in this whole video, I've not made any recommendations on a particular dating age. That's because in an age of improved medical technology, it doesn't matter as much. I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all, because some women can have babies into their 40s, and some also struggle in their late 20s. But I'm still not telling men to try to date exclusively younger women. Many younger women are immature idiots that you can't have a normal conversation with. But then, so also are many older women too. What matters is that you date someone where there's mutual attraction, you enjoy each other's company, you get on well together, and you have similar values. And most importantly, that you want, both of you want to build a life together. Those things are rare enough without letting some arbitrary age stop two adults who have all those things from being together. I hope this video has been useful to some of you. Please remember to click like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you can, please send this to someone else who might find it useful. Thank you very much.